I took my very heavy, bulky, done for you agency and I turned it into a licensing service agency. So when you come into my licensing space, there's a licensing recurring fee that happens every month, which creates so much passive income. It's like a rental property.
All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. We got a fun interview today with my friend Rebekah Duron. And Rebekah, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Sam?
I'm doing good. We were just chatting offline or before this. You've been around the space for a long time, since
A little bit.
2016, chasing
Yes.
this digital online lifestyle. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. I started because of my own brick and mortar business. I own a jiu-jitsu school in San Antonio, Texas, and that pushed me into the marketing space, digital marketing space. And it just kind of opened a door that I'd never seen before. And yeah, there I
Right.
went. Yeah,
Right.
it's like
You've
blue
done
pill, red
something
pill.
really cool. When we talk about the door that you didn't see opening,
Yeah.
sometimes even myself personally, like I don't even come up with some of the best ideas. They just kind of happen. And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. You know?
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
So
You don't know
before we get
what it
started,
caused.
let's frame out for everybody kind of what you
Okay.
stumbled into.
Okay.
And then we'll discuss, the opportunity, how it works, and how your agency model actually is crushing it right now.
So, what I did is I took my very heavy, bulky, done for you agency and I turned it into a licensing service agency. We work for the same people, the same type of clients. We just made it way easier, way simplified, brought down my staff to, I have full-time and a part-time VA. That's it. um, because I was tired of being like all of these businesses saviors, if you would, a business savior.
Yeah.
And if this doesn't happen on time and DMs at 2 a.m. in the morning, and I was like, we're not doing that anymore. And so that's why I decided to transition it, but I had no idea what it was really going to create for me. So yeah.
That's an awesome opener. I got so
Oh,
many
good.
different things that you said in there well, first off, we kind of started in the same space as a done for you agency, right?
Yes.
And agencies, whether they like it or not, especially in the first phase, there's almost like phases of your agency, right? In your first
Hmm.
phase, you end up being the full service provider. You end up doing just to
Yeah.
get the business, like, hey, I got to
Yeah.
run their ads for them. I got to, even make their sales for them, whatever. It feels that way anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
But they have no
but
sales process.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Um, there's a
That's
lot of
another
things.
combo for another day.
Oh my goodness, you're right. So right now in the marketplace today, there's a lot of agency folk, and that's who will be
Mhm.
watching this, who
Okay.
are talking about SaaS, right?
Yeah.
And many of them even, and specifically since they're using UpHex, they're converting their traditional SMMA models into SaaSes.
Hmm.
How does what you're saying, your positioning,
Hmm.
how does that differ from that particular model?
Um, so there's some parallels, right? There's a few parallels in there. Um, what we do when I look at what we do, I think about like I tell people it's like the best type of real estate. So if you had a rental property and you can put a tenant in there and they sign a 12-month lease and they're paying you, I don't know, $2,000 a month in Texas, that's about right, I think. Um, for a three-bedroom, two-bedroom house. Well, what we're doing is like we're able to take this one rental property and we can just duplicate it as many times as we want and license it out. We're not selling it. I'm licensing it because the way I set up this model is they don't pay me once for it. And I think this is where so many agencies go wrong or even product sellers is they'll sell it once and then that's it. Oh, pay me this and I'll set up your bot and then we're done, right? And
Yeah.
I don't even know why because the value to that business continues to perform for them monthly. So when you come into my licensing space, there's a licensing recurring fee that happens every month, which creates so much passive income. It's like a rental property, right? And so we create all of these licensees in all these different spaces. I used to exclusively work within martial arts schools, but we have just built so many other spaces now. Um, so we have all of these licensees that pay their rental fee, if you would, every month, and that's how we create this very passive income lifestyle. So yeah, I mean, with SaaS, which I actually don't charge people like SaaS fee to like use our CRMs and things. We include it in bundles, which a lot of people do, but then that puts them into a whole other pickle, and we can talk about that next if you want. Um, we look at it as licensing the pieces that are actually going to be really valuable to them, that are actually going to make their business money. So sometimes I feel like people just focus on the wrong things, what they think is valuable, but what's not actually valuable to the business owner. And maybe because I get to live both sides of it, like I have the digital marketing side and I'm actually have a brick and mortar
Yes.
business as well. I can see like, man, this, am I allowed to curse on this?
Do it.
Okay, okay. Like this is some bullshit. You know, like why do I want that for my business? It's going to take time, it's going to take energy, it's going to cost me money. This is not valuable to me. And I look at valuable as like, is it useful? Is it useful to my business? Does it make it easier? Does it make it easier for my staff? Like they don't hate me, they love me. Like what are we doing in those types of pieces? Does that make sense? That was probably a whole tangent.
It totally makes sense. And it's funny because I was going to make sure that you said what you just said,
Oh,
right?
good.
I watched your other video like this with Travis Sago, and
Okay. Yes.
I have adopted that phrase. Value is such an abstract word. And in
Yeah.
marketing, we talk so much like these words get used over and over, like offers, value, lead with value. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember in your interview, you said
Yeah.
something that really just hit me in between the eyes, and I've been using it a lot since. So hopefully you don't mind, or Travis don't
Yay.
mind.
No, I don't mind at all.
Was value equals usefulness,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. How useful is that son of a bitch? You know, like, are you putting it to work? Is it working for your business?
Yeah, and usefulness means a lot. Can you use it? Does it give you an outcome? And so what you were going, if we go back just 3 minutes, you're talking about
Mm-hmm.
licensing the most
Mm-hmm.
valuable, or in other words, the most useful parts
Mm-hmm.
of your business. So give us
Yeah.
some examples of the things that you're licensing.
Okay. So, like, one of the things that we license, and this is specific to the martial arts space, is I love when a new client comes in, or I call them partners because I don't like clients, I like partners.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, when a new partner comes in, what most businesses do, especially in our space, is they ask for money, right? Like, hey, I need $1,000 in ad spend. I need some SMS costs. I need all these things. Well, we have no like validity, trust relationship built at that point. So what we do is we take their lists, their customer list, their past customer list, their leads list, and we say, hey, let's put your lists into our Academy Connect, which is our CRM, and let's run some campaigns to actually put cash in your pocket first.
Yeah.
And then we can use that cash to pay for your marketing. And just switching that around, adding these campaigns. If there was just one piece of special sauce that I licensed, just one, it would be all of my cash campaigns. Because
It would be
like
all
schools
what?
like our cash campaigns.
Oh, cash campaigns. Okay.
Yeah. So like we call them create more cash campaigns because that's what they do. And like during Black Friday, we had martial arts schools that were collecting 50, 70K in a week. For a martial arts school, this is huge. Like some martial arts schools don't make 50K in a year. So to make it in a week is huge. Now that's pretty effing useful, you know? And it's a, what do they, and they can do it once a year, twice a year, multiple times a year, doesn't matter.
That is awesome. I mean, to just, not to be too cute here, but that's the entire model that UpHex built. Like our model is build an ad that gets
Yeah.
results. And then once it
Yeah.
gets those results, sell it over and over and over and over. And then once you've done that,
And over
keep
again.
going and go and go. Why
Yeah.
do you want to, when people, I don't know if have you heard the term productized your agency,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. A little
That
bit.
means,
Yeah.
yeah, that means like getting things like your cash campaigns and
Mm-hmm.
wrapping them up so they look like a product. And it's funny, one of the things that you did that the beginner agency would totally miss was you gave something a value proposition by giving it a name for what it does,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
100%.
It's like, hey, this
Name
is a cash
everything.
campaign. Well, what's that for? Generating cash. Duh.
Right.
You
Right.
know? My favorite, you remember Tommy Boy back in the day? You're a Tommy Boy. You got to know this,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, I
You can
know
get a
him.
good look
Yeah,
at a T-bone by sticking your head up a bull's ass, but wouldn't you rather take the butcher's
right,
word for it? You know,
right.
remember that one?
Yeah,
It's like you guys, when you talk about too many people sell process-based outcomes.
yeah,
When you sell results-based offers, I'm sorry, process-based offers, outcome-based offers, when you sell outcome, it's like, hey, I just want the T-bone. Or in other
right.
words, the product, the way you're presenting
Yeah,
that particular opportunity and licensing it, the reason you're
yeah,
able to do that is because you packaged it up and you said, hey, this is the T-bone. Cool. That's what I
yeah,
came here for.
right.
So
I
that's
tell people all the
mm,
time, I'm like, give them what they really want without having to do what they really don't want.
yeah. Yeah.
And if you can accomplish those two, which that, people are like, how do you do that? I'm like, actually, it's not that hard. Um, Time, energy, and money, like what are their biggest resources? Or lack of resources. Do they not have any time? Do they not have any money? Do they not have any energy? Which one is it? And just fill those gaps.
You know what's funny, Rebecca? And not to go too deep, because you and me, I can tell right now, we could go deep on a lot of stuff.
Um,
But as you're talking, I'm remembering. So I just did this recent deep dive, right,
okay.
of the top affiliates and kind of the models they're using. And there's three things that people sell, right?
Hmm.
Three types of offers: repair, improve, and opportunity.
Okay.
All right.
I like
And
that. I like it.
the opportunity is what you said. It's like get the thing you want without the thing you hate. Right. It's like, oh,
Right.
well, I already know that I can get the thing I want, but you said I could get it without the thing I hate. So now this is not repairing or improving because I already know that. This is something different. What is it? And it's really crazy. And everybody who's watching this is going to go do this exercise.
Okay.
Pick any high level affiliate. Oh man,
Okay.
I hope they don't get mad at me. But I did this
Okay.
I did this exercise and
Okay.
go to their core call to action under their YouTube video. Go to the core link, the
Okay.
top link that they do. And you
Okay.
will see, you're going to click over, you're going to see a squeeze page. And the squeeze
Okay.
page all has the exact same type of headline.
Oh boy.
They are all opportunity hooks, every single one of them. And that is
Mm.
why people are taking the opportunity. And then their next call to action is usually some kind of course, which is today's version of a webinar,
Whoa.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I look at that and I'm like, again, sometimes I learn these things and sometimes I fall backwards into them.
Right.
And so I'm
Happens.
hearing what you're saying. I'm like, dude, she's nailed it again, right? You position everything not only as a license agreement, but why? Because you're giving
Right.
me a new opportunity to do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah. People will move forward into what they can see, I think. And so like the
Yeah.
biggest piece, like I don't necessarily like if I went up to you and I said, "Hey Sam, would you like to pay me for my licensing?" You'd be
Yeah.
like, "Bruh, why?" What?
Yeah.
Huh? So I think that people will go forward into what they can see. So I don't ever say, "Oh, I'm selling licensing," even though that's what our model is built off of. This last Friday, I just finished a workshop, and it was to show and talk about martial arts school owners how to go from 10K to 50K, right, and how the
Yeah.
processes works.
Yeah.
And we have this thing called the Loyalty League, because everything that I do is based on lifetime value. That's in my business, and that's in
Yeah.
businesses that I help. Because if we can fix lifetime value, we can fix most things in your business.
Yeah.
So, in this loyalty league, I show them 3 steps in a plan, like 3 simple, tiny steps, and from that, you get 50% of the people without even giving an offer saying, "How do we do this?" I mean, that's how easy it can be. And then you can plug in whatever type of licensing service you do for them. If it's a bot, if it's a campaign, if it's an ad, whatever it might be, as long as there's a result that there's proven and a part of a plan that they can see.
That's awesome. Yeah. So it's funny because I remember you spoke on traffic and conversions on a stage for traffic and conversions, right?
Digital
Or
marketer.
oh, sorry.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, kind of, it's Brian
Digital
Dice.
marketer. Okay. Same kind of
Yeah, yeah,
audience, right?
yeah.
And that was because your hook was convert your done for you agency into a licensing model, right?
Yeah. It was right before COVID. And there was something that was out there and that was like, hey, we need a speaker. And so put your headline and see if it votes up.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, it's kind of working for me, And
Frustrating.
so I put it on there. I was like, how to turn your done for you agency into a licensing services agency. And they like pinged me. They were like, Rebekah, you won by a landslide. I was like, oh shit, that means I got to go on stage and actually say something.
That, by the way, that's a huge feather in your cap to have done that. I mean, those guys are no joke and they command the attention of a lot of agencies. But
Yeah.
the point in saying that is that hook is going to really hook in this audience, like the you guys, right? The agency is going to be like, whoa, that's amazing.
Right.
It ain't going to hook any martial arts dojo. They don't care
Right.
about that.
Yeah.
So you guys like this concept, which is, I mean, I love this concept, but how you attract them, get interest, create that desire and that action
Yeah.
is not the same as we're talking about here. You really have to dumb it down, simplify, and just
Yes.
paint the outcome they want. Yeah.
Yeah, super simple. The more granular, the easier it is to sell. Specificity spits out cash. And so like,
Specificity spits out cash. Got it.
yeah, so like the more granular it can become, the easier it is to push people into, not even push, you just open up a licensing offer and they go into it.
So when you present it, do you, and you don't have to give away any special sauce.
No,
I'm
I
just
don't mind.
curious.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let me just say how I would do it and you tell me how close I
Okay.
am.
Okay.
I would say a lot of companies, when they come to you with this plan, offer this at, a retainer, as a service fee, as a whatever. What we do is because we know how well it works and we have so much,
Hmm.
really good proof of that, of it working well, we license it. That way you have control over it. That way you
Hmm.
don't have to come back to us to provide these different services. We license it to you and we install it in your business. And then you just
Hmm.
pay us a licensing fee. Is it something like that?
Something like that. Some
Oh, okay.
some
I
something
butchered it.
close. No, 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 it's close to there. Again, we're always talking about results, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, hey, if I give you this, if I license you this piece, right, and this whatever specific piece of IP it is, and we
Yeah.
plug it into your business, it's kind of like going to Disney World and skipping to the front of the line, right? Instead of waiting 2 hours or 10 years, like a lot of businesses do, and they stay broke, we're just gonna fast pass you to the front of the line by licensing you shit that works. And they're like, okay.
Okay. That's awesome, by the way. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you how you're using UpHex in this model, right? I mean,
Well,
at the end of the day,
yeah.
this is an UpHex channel. And so talk about how
So,
you use UpHex to license these things.
so I not only use UpHex, but I tell folks about it all the time because it works, because it's a tool that works. And I love tools that work. So what we do is we've connected UpHex to our space. And so it makes it our CRM, which we use HighLevel. Um, we built it a very specific way. And from there, the clients or the partners are able to press three buttons and launch an ad, right?
Yeah.
Ads are part of our toolbox. It's not everything that we do, but it is a piece of it. And so it makes it so easy for them to be able to just press launch and it's there and they're licensing all of our content from ad copy to videos. We make everything evergreen so anyone can use it and that's it. Our offers are attached in there and they just go. So like we're simplifying it. We're taking away any heavy lifting on knowing how to use a business manager. As you know, it gets freaking updates how many times a year? A million
Yeah.
times.
Terrible.
And like the videos that you're always having to create to show a person, oh, the button moved over here now. Oh, we're gonna delete this form and blah blah blah. So it
Yeah.
just makes it so much easier.
Because in fairness, you did this licensing model pre-UpHex.
Yes. Yeah. I actually didn't find it till maybe a year ago.
Yeah. And so you
Yeah.
guys were teaching your customers, hey, click these buttons inside Ads Manager. So how much did they
Yeah.
throw up their hands and cheer once you took that away?
Um, oh yeah, so much easier. They were like, "What? How are we doing this?" I'm like, "I know, it's these cool things that we learn on the internet." Um, yeah.
That's cool. I got a question for
Um,
you. And this is
yes.
kind of applying this to like the UpHex. a new licensing customer for you guys
Mm-hmm.
comes onto UpHex.
Mm-hmm.
When you first show them how to do the tool, when I had my agency, we had like a scripted part. And one of the things I wanted them to do in launching their own ads, because they come in thinking, oh, this is scary. I'm going to do it wrong. I'm going to break something. I'm going to spend money that whatever. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so we basically had a scripted thing where it's like, hey, click that, click that. Hey, you just replace any retainer agency you'll ever have to work with. Something like that.
Mm.
How do
Okay.
you guys get people comfortable saying, yeah, I'm going to launch my own ads? Is it you just have a video sequence that they go through, or do you have some kind of
It's a good,
orientation?
yeah, really good question. So all of that's kind of part of our onboard. And I think the onboard, I look at all sales and, lifetime value, all of it's like relationship, right?
All
And
of its
so
relationship.
a
Yes.
100% of it,
Yes.
it's like first you ask a person onto a coffee date, and that might be like a workshop or a webinar, paid or free, whatever it might be. And like, that's a coffee date. Like, do I even like this
Yeah.
person? And then we move to a movie date, and then like maybe you go to the park, then you meet the parents, and it's like all part of a relationship. Um, so a very special part of a relationship in our space is the onboard, right? It's when they actually
Yes.
give you money. Have you ever read the book Never Lose a Customer Again?
No.
Oh my God, it's one of the best. I love it. Never Lose a Customer Again. I always get the guy's last name wrong. It's either Joey Coleman or Chapman. It's one of those.
Okay.
Um, so, like a credit card, people think that like at point of credit card that they've gained a customer, and that's also some bullshit. It's
That,
just a
yeah.
transaction.
Yep.
They can come in and pay you a retainer or pay me a licensing fee, and I can totally screw it up in 24 hours.
Oh, absolutely.
And so the special piece that we know is like we're carrying this little egg, this little relationship that we're trying to like grow into a chicken. And at onboard, this is where they really actually believe you, like where you get to put your feet to the fire and they believe what you said and then compared to what you do. And so this onboard phase is a really special phase. I mean, we do make them feel special. We make them feel comfortable. We walk them through all of the software. They know that our team is there to support them if they get stuck at any time. We have a Slack channel. They can message in there, even if it's not in business hours. By the next morning, someone's going to be helping them out through that step if they're stuck. So I love our support team. Like they're freaking amazing.
Yeah.
In fact, we call them success managers, not support,
Yeah.
because we're here to help them with their success. And so, like the piece of onboard of getting a client to understand how to use UpHex within the CRM is huge. And what I see people do all the time is they don't value this part of the relationship. They just are like, oh, they gave me a credit card. We gave them access, bingo bango. And it's like nobody, like that's exactly where you're going to lose. It's going to turn, what could be a 2 year or 3 year partner to a 1 month or 2 month partner.
That's
Cause they're gonna
right.
be like, oh shoot, I'm tired of paying. What am I paying for?
That is the if there's one piece, if there's a 5 or 6 figure secret in this entire case study that we're doing, it is just on the onboarding.
Yeah.
Everybody has, you struggle maybe to get your first couple of customers until you don't, and then you realize, oh, getting customers really isn't as hard as I
Not
thought it.
difficult.
It's not
Mm-mm.
hard. The real hard part and the thing that keeps every agency in the boom and bust is 100% on the onboarding. And
100%.
even if we all want to crush it, I mean, myself included, even with
Yeah.
UpX, I want people to crush it out of the gate with their results. I want that to happen.
Yeah.
But even if it doesn't, as long as, like you said, as long as people don't pay for the outcome once they buy from you, they pay for the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. And if that relationship is rock solid, they will ride or die,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly. I heard an agency owner say the other day, and it hurt my heart because this guy that said it was a really good guy. He's solid. He's not a scammer in any type of way.
Yeah.
And he said, take as much money as you can from them in the first because they're going to leave you.
Ugh.
And I was like, and in his heart of hearts, that's what he believes, right? Like that's his
Yeah.
belief. Um, and people think I'm stupid and like crazy for this because our clients stick with us for years. I mean, 4 years, 5 years. I've had people since 2017 that are still with us. Um, and they're like, wait, aren't they paying for the same damn things every month? Yes, they are. They're paying for
Yep.
the same damn things every month and access to this relationship.
Yep.
And so, yeah, we go hard on relationship.
How much in terms of community? So you have the relationship one-on-one with them. Do they have
Mhm.
access to a community or anything along those lines? Or is it just the one-on-one where they're building that sense, that relationship?
So they have access to a Slack channel, which is like our community, if you would.
Yeah.
And then I go live on a call once a week.
Okay.
Mhm.
Via like Zoom or something like that?
Zoom. Usually it's focused around sales, because I think if we're going to improve conversions, like on anything, it has to be around sales conversations because these are service-based businesses that talk to people every day.
Do you feel like your product, so just weeding away the strategy and the communication and that kind of thing, do you feel like you have, well, I'll speak for myself personally. My
Okay.
agency went through this, hey, the tail wag the dog. We get customers like, let's do this, let's do that. Including at one point in time in my agency library, we had over 150 ad templates in there,
Oh,
which we thought was good. Like, you think that's good,
yeah, but
but
not you.
it is not good.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
not.
we had to massively go and take a look at, hey, we have a good relationship with people, but they're not doing the thing.
Yeah,
Why aren't they clicking the ad? Or why aren't they launching the ad? Well, it's because there's too many to choose from.
yeah. It's like a Chili's menu.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's the paradox of choice. Um,
Hmm.
I know that there are some people who don't fall into that trap. Did you fall into the
Hmm.
complicate your software stack and then go back through and weed it out and simplify it, or were you always pretty good, like,
Yeah.
good at maintaining that focus?
So I am a very keep it simple, stupid person.
Oh, yeah.
Um, like this is something I tell myself every freaking day. And I have to like bring the reins in sometimes. It's like keep it freaking simple. Like, how do we simplify this so like a kindergartner could do it if they had to? And that's not to demean anybody, right? That's for myself as well. Simple doesn't mean easy, it just means simple. There's
Yes.
2 steps, 3 steps. So if we can follow 2 steps, 3 steps, if we can pick from a few ads instead of 20, then we're
Yes.
just making the speed to action faster. Money loves speed, speed loves simplicity. If it's complicated, that shit's going to take forever. you
Yeah.
know like yeah, it's just not going to happen. And so how do we simplify it? The thing about business owners is they don't want to be marketers, they don't want to be techie guys, they
Yeah.
don't want to learn AI, they don't want to learn copywriting or running campaigns. Like, we think that stuff is really cool, like it floats our boat. They could care less about it. um, they want more business, they want more revenue, they want more clients to or students to fill their mats. Or with our insurance guys, they're looking for more policies that they can sell, more premiums that they can, write that week. So yeah, did that answer your
Uh,
question?
well,
Sometimes I
no,
go on these tangents and I'm like, what was
no,
I
I think
saying?
you gave a great explanation because I'm sitting here listening to you. I'm like, okay, she has her product, which is HighLevel UpHex. She
Hmm.
refines the entire working complexity behind the scenes
Hmm.
into really bite-sized, hey, this is easy to do thing for the customer. So there's the
Yeah,
product. And then the community is a Slack channel and weekly calls.
yeah,
And I'm
that's
like,
it.
this, there is no need to get cute. Like, let's
No.
just be that's it. So you
Yeah,
have, do community members interact in Slack? Or
yeah,
is
they
that
can. We have a
just,
general channel.
oh,
They don't really, but they can. Yeah,
so many
yeah.
good things. If anybody's watching this and they are an agency, well, first off, if you're in your first year, between your first 2 years, you should go back and watch it like a bunch of times and just outline all the things, because I guarantee you, as you're going through this video, you're like, oh, I have 12 niches I've been trying to go after.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, don't do that yet.
Yeah, don't do that yet.
Don't do that
Um,
yet.
but and then if you're a seasoned owner, I know even personally, I'll be honest. I said this earlier. I don't think we really cracked the retention, um,
Yeah,
the
no, it's a
retention
whole
thing
conversation. Yeah.
until we invented UpHex. And what I mean by
Oh,
that is, so we had um, all of the support staff. All they did was run
okay.
and operate ads.
Okay.
Well, they didn't
That
have
was
to run
it.
and operate ads anymore.
Mm,
So do you know
yeah.
what they started doing? They started saying, "Oh, looks like Dr. Smith's ad campaigns lead costs are increasing." Okay, hey Dr. Smith, it's
Oh,
Heather. It looks like your lead cost is going up. We made a couple changes. Give it a day or two. If you have any questions, reach out. We
yeah.
went from reactive support to
Proactive.
proactive communication.
Hmm.
Everything changed.
Everything.
Everything changed. And
And
we're
they
like,
feel cared for.
what happened? What's that?
And they feel cared for.
They're human, you
They're
know?
human.
Isn't that
They're
funny?
human.
Because if you put
Yeah.
this thing into like, if you really just step back, it's like, hey, you just bought the software, you paid money, and now you're having whatever complexity it is, whatever
Yeah.
it is. You're like, crap, now I have another problem, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Happens to me all the time when I buy something. I buy something on like the TikTok store. I'm like, oh, I want to buy this. I don't buy a lot on the TikTok store. Honey, if you're watching this, I don't buy nothing on the TikTok store.
Right. Nothing. Right.
Uh,
Those Amazon charges, they're not me.
yeah, but it's like so. I'm like, I'm not returning. This is such a pain in the butt. I'm just leaving it.
Right.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah. We're just
That's
leaving
what
it.
they're
They
doing.
come in, there's no action, there's no results. You become useless to them no matter how valuable your IP is.
Hey, you said one thing that I tend to agree with, but I want to get your thoughts on, and then we'll
Okay.
wrap up here.
Okay.
Um, you said local businesses don't care about AI.
Yeah.
Okay. Your world and my world, which I try and
Two.
sometimes take myself out of that world only because it's like, hey, we are obsessed right now with
With
everything
it.
AI.
Yeah.
And we think that, and because we live in that echo chamber, we think that everybody out there is doing
Cares
the
about
same
it.
thing, is in it. Um,
Hmm.
I don't think that local businesses give a flying fart if you have
Mm-mm.
carrier pigeons that are, following up
Yeah.
with their leads. It's like, hey, I
Yeah.
flew you out a nice little carrier. I don't think they care. Tell me your
No.
thoughts on AI.
Well, I mean, one, we're stupid not to use it, right? Like, can it be
Yes.
valuable to us? 100%. So I'm not crazy to think that there's no place for it. But I don't like to tell businesses, oh, we're going to use these really cool AI bots because guess what everyone else is saying?
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to use these really cool AI bots. And then you become a commodity, like it becomes commoditized. Everyone's doing it. They're like, oh,
That's
but
right.
this guy's doing it, that guy doing it, this guy's cheaper because it's the same damn thing. Um, so I don't like to talk about that. What I like to do is figure out what problem can we solve for you.
Yeah.
And whether we use a pigeon or AI, they don't give a flying flip. You're right, they don't care. Um, I mean, tell them if you want, but it's unnecessary. However you do it or support it is fine, but they don't care.
It's the difference, if we go back just a minute, it's the difference between process-based offers
Hmm.
and outcome-based offers.
Yeah.
Um, in fact, if you're an agency and you're like running ads, we just finished a workshop, which you guys can find on the channel. I think it's called Get Clients, something like that. I'll link to it. How about that? Um, and it was all about solving the problem. When you go to market, okay, you're in the
Yeah.
dojo, you're in the martial arts niche.
Hmm.
There's lots of other
Hmm.
people that are doing that same niche, but
Tons.
you're not going out saying, hey, run ads for martial arts or hey, do this for martial arts. That's not
Yeah.
the message to the market,
Mm-mm.
right?
They don't
But
care about your ads.
no, they don't. Uh, every other newbie marketer, the first 2 year marketers, maybe more than that. Those are the ads they're running. That's what they're doing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
not about that. It's about selling the
Yeah.
thing that sells the thing.
Yes.
right? Gary
Yeah.
Bencivenga,
100%.
my favorite marketer, my favorite direct response marketer of all time, Gary Bencivenga, had this thing called The Secret of the Monkey Fist, right?
Okay.
And in the line, he just said, within every sale, there are two sales, right? You have to
Hmm.
sell the idea and then sell the thing that you sold them on the idea for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if the idea is good enough, then they'll buy the thing that will fulfill upon that idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a monkey fish, just to like put some closure on that idea. You ever seen a big cruise ship or a big tank freightliner, right? And they're posted up on a pier. Those ropes, those massive ropes, you know how much those things weigh?
How much?
Thousands of pounds.
Okay. A lot.
So how do they get a rope the from the boat down to that cleat on the pier? They have a thin
Mm.
rope with a ball that looks just like this. This is a monkey
Okay.
fist. Okay.
Okay.
And so they take this and they throw it, and attached to that thing right there is a rope that pulls the
Mm.
big thing in. So you do this one action so you can do the next big action. You sell this idea
Right.
first so it does the heavy lifting next. So
Yeah.
the monkey fist, baby. All right. So
Yeah. That
anyway,
works.
hey, you are a
Yes.
certified G. I'm sure people are going to be reaching out, from the digital web works here. What's the best way for them to connect with you, should you care to be connected with?
Yeah, good question. So I'm going on this crazy tangent this year and actually helping folks understand what they have to license. Like, do I have IP that I can license? And if so,
Mm,
how do I structure it? So it's kind of in the works. We actually just are almost finished with our first guinea pig group. They were brave enough to be my guinea pigs.
that's good.
And
You
it
need
actually
those.
worked. Yeah, we need those. And it worked pretty darn good for them. And so we're coming into this space more this year because people do not understand what they have, if it's useful and proven, like what they really have as far as IP
Yeah,
to
that's important.
license.
Yeah,
It's so freaking important. Like assets and distribution, that's the name of the game, right?
yeah.
So yeah, if you want to friend request me on, probably Facebook is the easiest way. I'm on Instagram too. You'll mostly just see pictures of my family. You'll be like, really? Like, who is this girl? I don't put a ton of biz stuff on my social, but DM me, friend request me, and if you're interested in learning more about that this year, it's coming.
That's awesome. Are you in the UpHex official community?
I'm in there, yeah.
Guys,
I'm
come
probably
connect.
too quiet, huh? Or yeah, friend request.
Come
Yeah,
connect. Well,
message me
I'm
in
saying
there.
another place. Connect with her in there. Um,
Yeah,
that's a great place for people who are doing really cool things, and you're definitely doing something
thank
very,
you.
very cool. So thanks for
I
being very
appreciate it.
transparent, very hat in hand. If you guys have enjoyed watching this, share, subscribe to the channel, because we got awesome people like Rebekah. I don't know if there's anybody as awesome as you. You're the
I don't know
most
about
awesome.
that.
You're the awesomest. But anyway,
You're
hey,
doing pretty darn good too, Sam.
well, we're doing what we can. Thank you,
Yeah,
Rebekah. Appreciate you.
absolutely. Thank you. I
You
appreciate it.
guys, we'll see you on the next video.